So now today, the some kind of blessing of white Tara, this one. Then this particular sort of the sadhana
No.
of what is Tara. Generally, in tantric practice or tantric sort of what's the
System.
systems, sadhana, I think tantric sadhana. One lineage from Buddha's time. Then another lineage, like Brahmasambhava or some other great cities. You see, they that Bhavas
No. Or those who are hidden as treasures in the past and revealed later.
that's we call dharma. Then another one is Tangnang, Samutangnang.
The profound pure vision teachings.
So we call Ringyu Kama, Nigyu Dharma, Samutangnang Seri.
With regards to the distance of the lineage, we call it
three lineages.
Distance of the three lineages. We call them the
Ringyu Kama.
the lineage that comes from Buddha Shakyamuni as Kama. That's what we call as the long lineage or the distant lineage. And
the Kama means Buddha himself used to taught. Some tantric sort of teaching, Buddha, some cases with monks sort of shape and teach. Sometimes a little sort of miracle way, you see his sort of crown way,
No.
crown. Some sort of voice is come from there.
Emanating from his crown and giving teaching.
So that we call long sort of line, so lineage.
A long lineage.
Nigyu Dharma.
The closer lineage is what we call as Dharma. And the profound lineage is what we call as the profound pure vision teachings.
Now this belongs third one. Fifth Dalai Lama. He often you see receive some sort of visions, not like dream, but actually you see seeing or meeting Buddha and some bodhisattvas and different sort of different form. And he often you see receive sort of the vision of because of the meeting of Brahmasambhava and some you see Tibetan emperor like Songtsen Gampo or Chisung Tenzin like that. So one occasion you see he received this. So you see there are 25 chapters of different practice. That's according to his vision. So since 15th Dalai Lama, that is something Dalai Lama Paju
It's the father tradition of the Dalai Lamas, the lineage tradition, specific to the Dalai Lamas.
So I received that from Dr. Regent. Wonderful Lama. So here I think I can say I have some sort of special link with 5th Dalai Lama. And so this practice, because when I receive the set of the teaching from Tata Rinpoche, I think my age maybe 11, 12, like that. So my personally not much interest. Then at that time, my main interest is play, or doing something, some mechanic things. That's my main interest. But something like compulsory to receive these teachings like that. However, you see, during that sort of period, I think 2 weeks, each night, some strange dreams, which you see some connection, the teaching or blessing which you're going to receive next day. It happened like that. And then after, when I left Tibet, escaped Tibet, no Kasoda, no text. So somehow, I think late 60s, again you see more or less the Rahul Sangiri's sort of same story of Rahul Sangiri. Sankirtayan. One Tibetan visit in remote Nepal-Tibetan border area. And then one day, you see, he visit one old temple. And then nobody there. So one day, Kasa Timingji-san, Kasa. Chigi Hwa ale pe ngamu kam duksu nalolja shing dromda en pakpa yoshibishi.
And
Ti mingji Kasa, mingdi Kasa. Shingi we. Shing dromche, mazant shing ruche en kwa yoshibi ming Kasa. Ka. But the 벽에. Ha. Chigi now I forget the name.
A wooden box covered by leather, an old style of Tibetan box.
So then that person, out of his curiosity, is not learned one, simply one ordinary Tibetan. You see, he touched the inside. He got some books, written books, small one, this size, small one, quite thick, like this. Two or three books. Then he felt, might be this is something old script. Then he felt, he's going to ask my late tutor, Trijang Rinpoche. So Trijang Rinpoche, you see, very fond of these old manuscript. So then he reached Dharamsala. So he took, you see, these few books, there's nobody. Another thief. Then one day Trijang Rinpoche told me, now one Tibetan brought the very rare manuscript which contains about the 15th Dalai Lama's visions. So he told me, now you get that book. Then he told me all the stories. Then he brought me this book. So then I start some sort of retreat according to this book. And again, some strange dreams. So fairly, I think fairly, I can say fairly is good. No. I can say this is some connection, the 15th Dalai, and also it's some other occasion, or one day, one night. Many years ago, in Podala, one temple, Avalokiteshvara, then Lama Tsongkhapa, then 15th Dalai Lama. One night in my dream, I was there in front of these two statues, Lama Tsongkhapa and the Karsa. No, 50th Dalai Lama. Avalokiteshvara this side there. So these two, not like a statue, but actually living human being. So it's both smiling at me and saying something. Then the 50th Dalai Lama indicated certain things. That I think 1954. Then later in India, very recent, quite I think 2 years ago, I think. One night, one painting, Thanga, of 50th Dalai Lama. Someone used to show me that. Then I look at. Then from that painting, the real 50th Dalai Lama appears, and they carry one very, very long yellow scarf and give me that. So perhaps I think my little service, Buddha Dharma, and also Tibetan cause, and also his own teaching, I think he showing little sort of the appreciation. Like that. So that I would like to mention to you, because you see, the first Dalai Lama, second Dalai Lama, third Dalai Lama, fourth I don't know, and then fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth I don't know, but ninth, from childhood, often you see get different sort of visions, meetings like that. And the second Dalai Lama also see 3-year-old already you see some conversation, some deities, and also you see start writing poems, or poetry, like that. So then the 13th Dalai Lama also you see receiving some sort of visions. So this 14th Dalai Lama, none. Perhaps I think not adequate about sort of say because of the religious faith. I don't know. So in any way, I never sort of have that kind of experience. So recently, I was in Washington. I give some importance of teaching. So I mentioned these things, the visions. These things are sort of reality, real. But then I never had that kind of experience. Then I told the audience. In that respect, I am very poor, zero. But at the same time, most popularly, 14th Dalai Lama is most popular Dalai Lama. That's my consolation. So the point which I am trying to say you is these very the strange things actually is the reality. One my friend, one Taglung Shobdrung, he spent 18 years in Chinese Gulag. Then early 80, he came to India. Then he told me, while he was in Chinese Gulag, actually one protector of his monastery actually came his cell and and explain something. This is your own karmic sort of result. We cannot do anything like that. So actually, he told me like that. Then after he came to India, one occasion in Nepal, another great Lama, Tikuchen Rinpoche, whom I also received a lot of teaching from him. Wonderful. So the Tolung Shabdun Rinpoche give a sort of certain teaching to the certain oral transmission to Tikuchen Rinpoche. So that when he carried that sort of performance, that sort of oral transmission, he actually saw all the lamas of the lineage, all very sort of living. He saw. He told me. So there is no reason he tell lie to me. He already spent 18 years in Chinese Gulag and no interest about fame or money or these things. He already quite old. So no reason to tell lie, to make show off. No reason. If one young, or little bit sort of because of ambition, then such story really doubtful. Really doubtful. This person quite old and suffer a lot. So no reason to exaggerate himself. So I believe his statement. And likewise, there are people who actually is having some kind of extraordinary sort of experiences. So it is something reality. Okay. So now, so now this is tantric teaching. The unique thing about Tantriyana, to utilize is a certain body's energy. Through that way, the grosser level of mind, grosser level of consciousness or mind reduce or dissolution, right? Dissolve. Like at the time of death. At the time of death, the dissolution is by sort of the biological sort of
natural process.
Now, through meditation, through certain sort of practice, mainly is to control breathing, and the practice of movement of Kundalini, Chandalini, these things. Eventually, the heart beating reduce, the blood circulation reduce. Not dying, but through effort, through yoga. So the grosser level of mind and also the energy dissolve. Then the more grosser level of sort of energy in the mind sort of weaken, the subtle mind becoming more active. So that's the way. That's something very unique in Tantriyana. So that's the main sort of practice. But in order to carry that, like I think the fourth school of thought, actually the Madhyamikas view is the right. So eventually you have to understand that view. But in order to develop that view, the Vivashik view, Swatantric view, Chidamandra's view. These are something like first, second, third step, like that. So similarly, in Tantrayana, Triya Tantra, Upa Tantra, Yoga Tantra, Mahanuttara Yoga Tantra. So these actual practice mentioned in Mahanuttara Yoga Tantra, but as a sort of because of the foundation or steps, the Triya Tantra, Yoga, Upa Tantra, Yoga Tantra, these three, not mentioned about the practice of because of the method, right? Method of this sort of dissolution, these things. But the foundation mentioned there. So now this, the sadhana about goddess Tara, according Triya Tantra. Triya Tantra.
Action Tantra.
No.
Chaguro.
Oh, Chaguro.
Action Tantra.
So, the restrictions, diet, or these things, very sort of important. So actually, because I didn't mention yesterday, I forget. Actually, we should be pure vegetarian. So if someone, I think actually due to my mistake, if someone take at breakfast some egg, now must vomit, right? vomit. in the lab of sort of
your friend.
Next person's. So some contribution for dirtiness like that. But doesn't matter. Actually, you see, when we practice these sort of tantra, very sort of strict sort of diet. Not only vegetarian, the onions, garlic, these must sort of avoid, like that. So the real ground of this higher practice, this control or energy, is with visualization oneself as a deity. So that's all for Tantra common, deity yoga common. And now, in order to visualize deity, first we must sort of mentally dissolve this grosser level of this body and mind. How? Two ways. One, your mind fully concentrate about ultimate nature, ultimate reality of the person. As I mentioned yesterday, when we investigate about ultimate reality and all these phenomena which not exist in ultimate reality, so all disappear. With that, now here deliberately, the navadi do.
Deliberately, we try to dissolve all the ordinary appearances.
So, the very mind which understand the ultimate reality with some kind of empty sort of because of the space, then that very mind which understand ultimate reality is wisdom. So that wisdom itself transform the deity. So the deity, the practice of deity yoga, without understanding about the ultimate reality, then just visualize as a deity is something 가서다들이 접시었으신.
It's just some kind of hypocritical actions, something like that.
So no use. So we have to develop understanding about shunya. At least according Chitta Mantra's sort of view, right? According to Chitta Mantra's view, there is two
There are two kinds of identitylessness or selflessness. The selflessness or identitylessness of being, and selflessness or identitylessness of phenomena. Or both these selflessness have different levels of subtleties.
So nga kabliya kansa dami jangjang dhigo mari injibi chui dami kuyore da chawa mene da rakpachi kuyore.
So in Tantrayana, not only the identitylessness of a person is sufficient, but we also need to have the view of the identitylessness of phenomena. At least we should have the grosser level of identitylessness of phenomena to practice Tantrayana.
Oh. So either Chitta Mantra's view or Madhyamika view. So without that, you can't practice proper deity yoga. Clear. Then also, the very purpose of that practice aiming to achieve Buddhahood, in order to serve, as I mentioned yesterday, in order to serve, in order to help sort of limitless sort of sentient being. So the altruism, without altruism, that understanding of shunyata may not be
will not fulfill its actual aim.
So we need in order to practice Tantrayana, we need understanding of shunyata and the Buddhist motivation. These two things is the foundation. So now the question: what is Tara? If you sort of believe that Tara is something, some sort of higher being or some deity, and absolute, and she can do everything, almost like creator, it's wrong. We Buddhist Tibetans and some Chinese, and you see who sort of carry some sort of who accept different form of Bodhisattva, like our Lokiteshvara, Manjushri, Goddess Tara, like that. So often have this sort of view, these are something like creator. So pledge to them or healthy body, a long life, and wealth, like that. It's not proper. These are not creator. From Buddhist viewpoint, you see, these are manifestation of like Buddha Shakyamuni or some other Buddhas, or say they are different aspect of their quality or energy. So we also have the seed of Buddha, the Tathagata Garbha or Sungata Shindaya. So long there is the mind sort of kasa
cognitive
cognitive,
quality.
illuminate.
Luminosity, the mind with the quality of cognition, luminosity.
That is there, naturally, the different level of mind there. All these grosser level of mind, you see, develop from the most subtle level of consciousness. That always pure. So that is the seed of Buddha. So we also have the seed of Buddha. Even insect, or even most cruel person, all his or her sort of cruelty come from grosser level of mind. Attachment, anger, hatred, fear. So all these, the very sources of cruelty, say, on the grosser level. So once the grosser level dissolve in the subtle level, pure, like that. So now, that seed, Buddha nature, or Tathagata Garva, they fully developed. That means all the grosser level of mind completely dissolve through practice. So not a biological factor. Biological factor, once dissolve, then it can come. Through yoga practice or through practice, then eventually at the initial stage, yes, dissolve. At the meditation session, then it can come. And then again, it can dissolve. Eventually, permanently dissolve. So once you see all these grosser level of mind completely dissolve, never arise, then the potential of that subtle mind then fully develop. So then all knowing come, because the ignorance all is on the level of grosser level of mind. So once grosser level of mind completely dissolved through effort, then you see the luminosity, right? Luminosity sort of basic nature, then fully developed. That is because of enlightenment mind. So now there, the same source. From that, you see, the Buddha's physical appearance also come from that. Buddha's speech also come from that. Buddha's action also come from that. And every sort of aspect of sort of the facilities to serve other, variety sort of, because of nature sort of
activities.
Variety activities all come from that source, same source. So since all these Buddha's body, speech, mind come from that same source, not like our body and mind and speech. So
the indivisibility of the three secrets.
The
indivisibility of the body, speech, and mind at the ultimate enlightened state.
So this physical, grosser level of voice, limitation. Mind, mental energy, no limit. Faster than light. Even today, when we think, America, within a second, our mind can reflect there. Body, speech, not that way. So the infinite energy of Buddha, unless something indivisible way.
Unless indivisible from the mind.
Oh, it cannot. So therefore, now here, Goddess Tara, is the manifestation of energy, Buddhist energy. Now in Guhi Samanja, Ramakrishna marve. Ramakrishna. So Guhi Samanja, these different sort of daginis or deities, female deities, or for example, Guhi Samanja 32. Now 32. And Hiruga 60. Luiba also you see other two Hiruga 62. Right. 주주전이, 다주전이. 주주전이요. 62. So this not separate individual being. All are sort of different form, sort of the different sort of the
Manifestation.
Different manifestation of the
Principle.
the central energies of different sort of the manifestation of different activities like that. So now Guhya Samanja, for example, when we visualize 32 deities, of course the main deity, main deity also. You see here Beruzana, Amedabhava, Akyube, Rana Sambhava, Amoghasiddha. And then Kasa Ramshinga Kasa to him that Moharati, Degarati, Rangarati, Bezarati. Now Bezarati goddess Tara. So this Moharati is the essence of the solid energy. This liquid energy, this heat energy, this Vayu energy, the energy, subtle energy. So I think usually obviously the mental activities very much depend on brain activities. So here is some special energy here. So the symbol of that energy, Goddess Tara, so usually we visualize Goddess Tara here, like that. So through that way we can understand what is Tara. Tara is the manifestation of energy of Buddha. So energy, you see, the potential of all this long life, good health, this very much related with energy. So Goddess Tara, you see, through visualization of Goddess Tara for long life, for good health, these things usually happen like that. Not considered as something absolute, sort of the separate being, but different manifestation. And seed of Goddess Tara also within ourselves. Clear? Some understand. Otherwise, we Buddhists, as you know, as we already discussed, no concept of creator. But at the same time, the limitless creator. Buddha, 1,000 Buddhas, several thousand Bodhisattvas consider something like all our sort of future in their hand, and something like creator, right? So like that. So that I want to tell you. So So since the main practice is visualization, deity yoga, and then it's some sort of visualization. Through that way, get blessing. So now here, oh, I think I'm going to recite the mantra of Heart Sutra. Teya tha gade gade bara samgade buddhi so. Teya tha gade bara samgade buddhi so. Teya tha gade bara samgade buddhi so. Shun gyodor kisho. That. 배 뭐 수직 좀 먹어 좀. 시면서보다 하얀 게 홀로 홍배. 시면서보다 하얀 게 홀로 시면서보다 하얀 거 홀로 배. 내게 여도 맞아 저도 보면 뭐 라미 한번 가면 뭐 라게 두고 오늘 저 소리는 년 나오면 배서 사만다. 아야. 어서 베네 나와서 나가다 보이면 소대 뭔가 보는 이만 가나 그럼 기하나 보내서 어서 베네 나와서 나가다 보이면 소대 뭔가 보는 이만 가나 그럼 기하나 보내서 어서 베네 나와서 나가다 보이면 기하나 보내서 무슨 보내서 뭐 홍기하는 양양나 기하나 무슨 보내서 뭐 홍기하는 기하나 무슨 보내서 뭐 홍기하는 기하나 보면 매어란서 홍배스 나 되게 그 속에는 많이 나올라 아니 저가 이신 걸로 아니 제나 제발로 받아주게 나 받아주게 신나게 계속 탐지 실땡시 무슨 번이 수봉 그냥 뭐 수번이 수봉 그냥 수번이 수봉 그냥 수번이 수봉 그냥 수번이 수봉 그냥 오만의 방에 비해라서 집에서도 하는 거 그러고 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 집에서도 하는 게 홀로 홍배 때야도 홀로 와줘도 상성도 저라 거도 저는 말이죠 온배서라 저라 온배서라 저라 오스나 사지 베지 주제마다는 그러는 이제 만에 선제시는 미디어 연구 남다시는 시험을쇼 예전 고라나면 나가네야 다야미 I don't think you see the repetition these Tibetan word. I think you simply develop some kind of the respect, devotion. Firstly, Lama. Now here, the Guru, as according to my sort of preparation, I myself now visualize as the white Dara, green Dara, and then one little bit darker sort of the Chanyajama.
The wrathful aspects of Dharma.
So three also the goddess. So in the front of the three sumbuji the dragon cosm yosabache. Here one
The three hips should resemble the three aspects of
Dharma. So in any way, I think you can visualize the in center white Dara like this. Then the left, the green Dara. It's the same sort of posture on the top of the lotus. Vicinity.
The seven objects of prosperity.
the right side, another sort of the goddess, more darker, a little bit wrathful, and then right hand carrying one conch,
Conch, yeah.
like that. So here the Guru's place, three deities. There in the front of us, you see the three deities. Visualize that. So some kind of respect, devotion. Then here, in order to carry the blessing properly, we have to develop the infinite altruism. Now here, visualize in front of us Buddha Shakyamuni, and then Maitreya, Manjushri, and some other the form, God's form, right? Bodhisattva, God's.
Bodhisattvas in the celestial forms.
And then Nagarjuna, Aryadeva, Buddha Palita, Vavika, Chandrakirti, all these great sort of philosophers. And then also Arya Asanga, Vasubandh, and Bhagavad Kasari. Bhagavad Kasa. Bhagavad
Vimukti Sen.
Great scholar. And all these, and Haribhadra. And then also, you see, great cities like Saraha. One day in America, after my talk, so we had sort of meal. And one American lady, she told me, she some connection, some sort of different sort of, Buddhist standards. So she told me, some Kajuba and the Nyingmaba, they, some of them, you see, mentioned to her, these days Dalai Lama saying Tibetan lineage is Nalanda masters. But the Kagyu and the Nyingma lineage, Toha, not these, because of the great treatises. Lekbam, Peshidu Marwa.
Great treatises.
Only Toha. 세상 거기보다 님은 애는 토할 공도가 마도 날린데 벤두스 송dia 저야 말이스. So it is some mentioned, it is mistake to say all Buddhist traditions, Tibetan Buddhist tradition come from Nalanda lineage. It is not correct. She mentioned to me. Then I told her, all those great cities who wrote different tohas, they themselves study at Nalanda, or their guru, all are Nalanda scholars. Kajuba, the Marba, Tapulhaji, Millereva, and their teacher is Marba. Marba and Tapulhaji maybe little because of that sort of scholarly, but otherwise Millereva is not scholarly. Marba also not like that. But you see, their main teacher is Naropa. Naropa, great scholar of Nalanda. And then also, you see, the Marpa sort of, I think the special sort of subject about Shunya. He received from Mitiba. Mitiba refer Chandagiri. So very clear. And then Saja lineage, Biruaba. Biruaba himself, previously, great scholar of Nalanda. The other day I mentioned the Wensex, the Korean Buddhist scholar in ancient time. In his writing, he take a lot of quotation from the Dhammapala. Dhammapala, the Biruapa, when he carried study in Nalanda, his name is Dhammapala. Then later, he follows the yogic sort of lifestyle. Then his name Biruapa. So the Saja sort of main lineage, Biruapa. Biruapa also is a Nalanda scholar and a follower of Arya Asanga, like that. And later, you see, he also is accept the Nagarjuna's theory, like that. So Saja, and then Nyingma, or mainly, directly, Pema Sambhava. Pema Sambhava was the guru, eight gurus, and then one, as far as I know, the Nagarjuna. There. So all these great sort of the Mahakasota, Mahasiddhis, all directly or indirectly, the follower of Nalanda lineage. So no problem. So that kind of sort of impression is actually out of ignorance. And sometimes you see in Tibet, also I think in some sort of different sort of temples, Buddhist temples, sometimes we not much emphasis importance of Buddha, rather their own Lama. Nyingma monastery, Pema Sambhava, Kiluk monastery, Lama Tsongkhapa. Buddha somewhere, some corner of Buddha there. That's a mistake. Isn't it? Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, whole world knows. That's the real sort of our teacher. There's no point you see to put somewhere Buddha or very far. I think our sort of spontaneous sort of, our sort of kasuri, when we're passing through some difficulties, we must remember about Buddha. But I think many cases remember one's own Lama or wrathful deity. I often you see criticize the Tibetan sort of monasteries, these things. The Buddha statue in main hall, many cases is a main hall, Buddha statue there. But nobody have the feeling, some kind of Buddha as our father, as our mother, and this life, next life, till Buddhahood, you are our teacher. Whole my sort of life, till Buddhahood, you see, totally relying on you. That kind of feeling, I think, few. Then one corner, the wrathful deities sort of corner, a little bit dark, and the door, some sort of
Ferocious.
Some picture there, some drawing, big eye, red eye, and something like that. When we enter in it, we even you see little fear, even because of the strong breath, go like that. Totally wrong. These are just, you see, something like servant of Buddha, not the master, but just the opposite. These are really, I think, something, I think the mystic sort of habit there. So since I am to openly criticized or teasing, so one day in Darjeeling or Meerut, one new temple, so they invited me. So then they showed me the main temple and Buddha. Then they little bit hesitant, bring me to that corner, the small room. Then I teasing them, oh, that's the most important part, so I must go there. So like that. And then also the sectarian. Yesterday I met some people, some Indian. I told them, look, Indian Muslim, from childhood, they take for granted there are different temples, there are different traditions. Then those people who completely isolate from other tradition, then something different attitude. Among Tibetan also, this is previously a little bit isolated from the rest of the world. So we consider Buddhism is best only religion. The others are so, that kind of sort of attitude. Then within Buddhism, their own monastery, their own Lama, that's the best one. The others. So lack of contact, lack of knowledge, what other teachers teaching, what the others, like Nyingma, Gilu is something very far. They are
just skilled in debate.
I think one occasion, I think the meeting, international meeting, the petrology. I think the petrology, different places occasionally. So I heard it's some American sort of religious leaders or scholars. That meeting, even that meeting, they mentioned Giluva, no practice of Kasoda meditation, only Nima. It's sort of out of ignorance. Then some Giluva say, Nyingma, a very bad smell. Nyingma, like that. Foolish. They are sort of real teaching. Oh, wonderful. Likewise, Gurju, Satya, even Chonang, all have some special things there. The important is we must study all different traditions, then must go the original source. So I usually telling, now we must go the original source of Tibetan Buddhism. That's Shandarakshita. That's a Nalanda scholar. That is important. With fuller knowledge about that, then add those Tibetan Lamas sort of little different interpretation or different sort of the way of presentation. That is good, useful. Without knowing the basic, I think 2 years ago, I invited to Dozon Rinpoche's sort of the monastery. I told there, Gurju, Nyingma, Satya, Genden, Kadam, Chonan, these are something like different finger, but all finger related with the palm. This is Nalanda tradition. Then, out of Nalanda tradition, then this specialize one thing, specialize one thing. All these without related with the big, because main the palm, then difficult. I told Rinpoche, so we must study, we must have fuller knowledge about our root of the root. So therefore, I sort of emphasis on Nalanda tradition, like that. So I think you also is some way, direct or indirect, there's some connection with sort of different centers or different sort of people. So please keep this. So then there is no basis of sectarian. All come from same line. So that's important. Like that. Okay. Isn't it? What do you think? I always emphasize India is a 1,000-year-old sort of religious harmony. Yes, philosophical field, disagreement, different views, intellectual level, some argument, but still respect. And clearly recognize their values or help to their follower. Very good. So that's really wonderful. So that's on so altruism. Now, Buddha, Bodhisattvas, and Nagarjuna, all these sort of great, Nalanda masters. I usually describe these people, Nalanda, ancient Indian thinker, philosopher, logician. So in that respect, these are truly professors of Nalanda. Great academician. So visualize them. Then in front of them, now think from those traditions, believe rebirth. Till now, right from the beginning, we have desire to achieve happy life, happy family. But in spite of that desire, and make every effort, some form of problems often facing. I think Buddha, Nagarjuna, also in human society, they also, you see, remain the same sort of situation. But these people, very happy. Why? Their place no longer any problem. Not like that. But they remain. The human society, human community, a lot of problem, and also birth, old age, illness, death. There. Even Buddha, publicly, sometimes he got ill. And then finally he died. But these people, mentally, very peaceful. Why? The problem there. But one's own mental attitude is a change. Different sort of, very sort of civilized mental attitude or very sort of advanced mental attitude. So, you see, the external problem never sort of disturb their peace of mind. So their teaching also give us the way. You can do that. I think in some level, some extent, myself and my friend, or one you see, my friend, one Namgyal monastery monk, very old, now 93. I think Gurukuru, or 96. So he spent 18 years in Chinese Gulag. In early 80, he came with Chinese permission. Then eventually with some sort of permission, some opportunity coming from Tibet, and also from here visit their relatives. So one day, I sort of casual talk with him. Then he told me, during 18 years in Chinese Gulag, few occasions he faced some danger. And I thought danger on his life. Oh, what kind of danger? Then his answer is, danger of losing compassion towards Chinese. So that kind of mental attitude. So result, his mind, no matter what sort of difficulties, calm, peace. So that not only is my sort of statement. So one occasion, I think about 10, 15 years ago, one occasion, our meeting with scientists, we touched these stories. Then some scientists, they decide they want to meet and carry some sort of kasota. I mean, through interview is some kind of experiment. So then later, those scientists who actually interview and some sort of kasota test, they told me later, these people, they are these several years difficult sort of experiences, serious sort of the dangerous sort of period, but their mental state, not traumatized.
Mm-hmm. Traumatized.
No? Calm. Of course, during most of these people, their meal very little. Some cases, starvation also happen. So food not adequate. Medical facility very poor. But these not only survive, but happily survive. Why? Their mental state more calm, more compassionate. So these are the facts. If your sort of mental state develops certain kind of right. So now my point is, what is wrong? Our sort of too much frustration, too much anger, fear. If we investigate the extreme self-centered attitude and extreme selfish, and also you see very much grasping as a absolute based on appearances. Enemy, absolute enemy. Friend, absolute friend. Today, suppose absolute friend, but little change, then you shock. Because you have this sort of attitude, this is something absolute. So something little change, then you frustrations, angry. Clear. So therefore, these two things, extreme sort of self-centered attitude and selfish, as I mentioned yesterday, selfish, narrow-minded, blind selfish. These are the ultimate sources of our mental suffering. Now these will not go away through prayer. Only through implement those great scholars, experienced persons who was teaching. So, according to this teaching, infinite altruism, direct oppose self-centered, selfish, narrow selfish. So that is reduced. Once we develop some kind of sort of positive sort of feeling towards other, develop sense of caring, sense of sort of concern, well-being of other, that automatically creates new sort of kasota.
Atmosphere.
No. Once your mind develop more positive, then all appearances becoming more positive. Here within yourself, very negative, then all appearances appear something negative. So, the altruism, respect other, love other, that really creates inner peace. That reflection, whole atmosphere appears like peaceful. then we can attain. We can practice that. Not necessarily believe next life or Buddha. Simply use common sense and ask the medical scientist or those brain specialists. They fully agree. If you develop some kind of calm mind here, the brains, all these, then become calm. Blood pressure or stress, all these reduce. Now scientifically proved. So think that. Then appearances, absolute, independent, objectively, something strongly exists, very solid. That now, especially Buddhist theory, actually no independent existence. So these two things really creates very, very positive attitude. That's the source of happiness. Not only just source of happiness, but that kind of attitude there, then no matter what sort of difficult situation, you can keep peace of mind. So now here, think about altruism, the benefit of altruism, with help of the some understanding about the reality. Shanda Dewa mentioned Jiden Dewa Chinyeva, Tegun Rang, Tegu Shanda Delechung. Jiden Tumi Chinyeva, Tegun Rang de Delechungs.
All the positivities or prosperities or happiness in this world come from wishing others to be happy. All the negativities or all the sufferings in this world come from being selfish.
Then he mentioned 대외 경례 군세에 정주심지 따셨네. 대내 대화를 로하라 심시수지 길로녀.
Therefore, by writing on the horse of bodhicitta, that dispels all sorrow and difficulties in transcending from happiness to more happiness, which wise one will feel unhappy about it?
So therefore, the 지수나가 never 살리로 하니.
So therefore, so long as sentient beings exist, so long as so long as space exists, so long as sentient being exists, may I too abide to dispel all their sufferings.
So these are thinking. Once we really are way of thinking, the becoming closer, such sort of way of thinking comes, the more closer you get inner strength, self-confidence. So immense benefit. I received teaching, Shantadeva's book, 1967, at Bodhigaya, from Kuno Lama Rinpoche. Till that, I admire this infinite altruism from early age, but still I feel little distance. Not like understanding of shunyata. Shunyata, a bit easier. But the bodhicitta, infinite altruism, I admire, but I feel I little kasoda.
Shy away. Shy away.
Shy away. After receiving that teaching, that book, oral transmission, then I constantly reading and thinking, reading, thinking. Then 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. my mind towards bodhicitta closer, closer, closer. Still, I cannot say, I'm not claiming I have this sort of quality. But I'm now quite sure, if time permits, at another, I think 10 to 15, 10, 20 years, I think I can, I will develop these things, bodhicitta and also the understanding of shunya. Then, gadi,
Then we come to the first part, gade. The part
first
of,
level,
first level.
gadi. Then perhaps next life, further practice, then second gadi. And how long will take in order to reach third paragati? I don't know. According to Sutriyana,
It takes actually 3 countless eons. So the first 2 parts are the part of accumulation and a part of preparation.
So
will complete
two gadi take
the first countless eon.
then next 가려다 장모님에서 와서 사여보다 사좀봐
So until one reaches the 7th ground, that is also part of the 3rd gadi, so paragati.
second 장모님에서 왔어요. Listen. So then gadi paragati from first bhumi, second bhumi, third, fourth, fifth, seventh. Another limitless eons. Then 8th, 9th, 10th. The last, another sort of limitless eons. Then become Buddhahood. So thinking this line really gives me inner strength, determination. In Tantrayana, in particular in our tradition, within 3 years you can achieve Buddhahood. That's like a communist propaganda. Unrealistic. Maybe out of millions, 1 or 2 may be possible. But the rest of us, that's propaganda. And that really, you see, very harmful for our determination. People, too much enthusiasm and want to achieve final goal within 3 years. 1 year passed, not much change. 2 years passed, not much change. Even sometimes worse. Then 3rd year passed, then completely give up. That's a sign of failure. It's much better. Day-to-day life should be useful. At least no harm other. Then doesn't matter. That brings inner peace. And you realize, oh, my existence is something useful to other. At least no harm. Then go that way. 1 life, 100 life, 1,000 life, 100,000, million life, doesn't matter. Go like that. Isn't it? So that's very important. Too much expectation. It's a sign of failure. No. We must determine. Okay. So now, 뒤에 너는 전주 삼배서 2개. 찔럽다.
With a wish to free all beings.
Now you see, visualize Buddha and Bodhisattvas and Nagarjuna, all these in front of them. We are going to make some kind of pledge. Now on, my body, speech, mind, totally dedicated well-being of others. Now, from now, I never sort of commit harm other. That kind of sort of. I'm making that kind of pledge in front of Buddha and Bodhisattvas.
With a wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, and Sangha.
Oh,
Until
now here, to Buddhist, yes, place in front of Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Those Muslim, that place in front, visualize Mecca or Allah. Then the Christians, Kasajuri, Jesus Christ. The different Hindus in front of your own sort of those great masters or teachers. Because this practice of altruism is same. Philosophical field is different. So we can visualize anybody, even non-believer. You can make this kind of sort of pledge. No problem. Yes?
with wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. Enthused by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind for full awakening, for enlightenment, to benefit all sentient beings. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain and dispel the miseries of the world.
3 times.
With the wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. Enthused by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind for full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain and dispel the miseries of the world. With the wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. Enthused by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind for full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain and dispel the miseries of the world.
This one. So that's most important part. Now, some kind of pledge or request to Guru, through you, I want to receive some kind of blessing from Goddess Tara. So not necessary to repeat that. Just you think that way. Now here, as a tantric practice, is the audience okay. Oh, Mr. Sharma. Welcome. So, visualize audience or the student also is visualized as a goddess Tara. However, according to tantric sort of system, those people who never sort of received initiation or abhisheka, they're not allowed to visualize oneself as a deity. So, to those people, to such people, they visualize goddess Tara in
On the crown. On the crown.
Crown.
Your head.
Like Rajiv, because you see they're very smooth here. No, so be careful. Goddess may
Sleep.
Rasha.
Sleep.
What a story there. You see the one person who's the bold.
Bald.
So when Lama usually introduced that, So he felt the image always fell down. And then those people who already received initiation or abhisheka, then you can visualize yourself as a goddess Tara. So the form way, you've got to
With the same form and aspects, holding the same kind of ritual objects.
Now the Sanskrit word Om Subhava Shuddha, Sarva Dharma Subhava Shuddha. Om symbolize body, speech, and mind. So the self designated on the combination of body, speech, and mind is actually inherently non-existence.
Inherently non-existent.
Non-existence. So Om Subhava Shuddha. The ultimate reality, Subhava means ultimate reality, Shuddha, empty. Om Subhava Shuddha. Then Sarva Dharma, here mainly refer body, mind, speech, these things. These also, the very basis to designate self or I, itself also is empty, does not exist by independently. So Om Subhava Shuddha, Om Subhava Shuddha, Sarva Dharma Subhava Shuddha. Hang. Hang means you understand that reality, your mind remain in that meaning,
in that state.
In that state is the kasoda majenjoba.
With the pride.
Pride is what kasoda. So you fully involved, absorbed in that nature. So that's the meaning.
Immersed in it.
So Om Subhava Shuddha Savadama Subhava Shuddha Hang. Now within that mental state, now either you yourself, that wisdom appears. Now this syllable, tam. That now transform what is white Tara like this, and two others, as I mentioned earlier, or on your crown. You see the tam that transform three white Tara, white Tara center, green Tara, and then another Tara. Like that. So both cases, these three Taras, the three deities, crown way, the forehead, Om, A, Hung, the Hung Tilinal Tam.
Within the center of that dot, there should be the syllable tam.
Now visualize Lama, and then these three deities in front of us. You see from there, sort of the heart, some light or some rays come and bring sort of the blessings or energy, body energy, speech energy, mental energy, or different sort of the subtle energy, you see, bring in form of goddess Tara and absorbed either your body or kasoda
crown.
The deities, yeah. So, Om Tare Dudare Duris, Om Tare 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 Dudare Duris, Om Tare 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 Duris, Dudare Duris, Ha, Ra, Hum, Pam, Ho. Meza ambisha, meza ambisha, meza ambisha, meza ambisha, meza ambisha, meza. Meza ambisha ya a. Now, here is you, now here is the Guru and the deities from both the forehead. Because white rays you see come, and the because of the students' forehead are absorbed, and with belief they all the blessing of body energy absorbed in your body, and as a result, all the mistake or negative thing bodily done, all purified, and so the tendency of doing these things now reduce. That kind of visualization. So think that way. Then, similar way, from
throat,
the so from there, the red light come, absorb your throat. So similar, all sort of mistakes carried through your speech, action, verbal action, now all purify and future reduce, and ultimately Buddha's speech, this sort of the energy of the voice eventually become Buddha's voice. Then similarly, from heart, blue light come and absorb in your heart the similar way. Then from navel, the letter thumb, green thumb, yeah. So from there, green light come, absorb in your navel thumb. So the rinjung shen digi gyabarchya, just chata sunam gyabarchya.
It will, this being in the form of Ratnam Sambhava, it will enhance all your virtues and longevity.
Then from secret place, one tree, green tree. From there, the green light come and absorb in your place there, so that your activities, every positive activities and the energy, including Buddha's energy, achieved like that. So now, that is body, speech, mind, any kind of
activity.
kasore.
Longevity and virtues, merits.
Then energy, these 5 things now increase your sort of potential of these 5, now much increase. All, you see, the something oriented for serving other. Okay. Now, that in the oral transmission of mantra. So now, repeat after me the mantra. While you repeat after me, you visualize in Guru and deities' heart in center, the mantra.
Rotate.
And then visualize from there the mantra like beat and light like Chengdasoji.
In the form of the strings of the rosary.
So mantra in form of light is to come through the Lama and the deity's mouth and absorb through your mouth, and in heart the mantra Ngango Köpch.
And then it dissolves into that mantra that you have visualized within yourself, the same kind of mantra.
Now repeat after me. Om Tari Tudare.
Umtara dudare.
Turi.
Ture.
Mama Ayu.
Mama kayu.
Puninjana.
Punijana.
Pudinkuru Soha.
Pudinkuri soha.
Om Tari Tudare Turi.
Umtara dudare ture.
Mama Ayu.
Mama ayu.
Puninjana.
Punijana.
Pudinkuru Soha.
Pudinkuri soha.
Om Tari Tudare Turi.
Umtara dudare ture.
Mama Ayu.
Mama ayu.
Puninjana.
Punijana.
Pudinkuru Soha.
Pudinkuri soha.
Now this left side, the green Tara, similar sort of the mantra. Now when you repeat that mantra, is come the mantra from mouth and absorb.
Dissolve into you.
Om Tari Tudare.
Umtara dudare.
Turi Soha.
Ture soha.
Om Tari Tudare Turi.
Umtara dudare ture.
Soha.
Soha.
Om Tari Tudare
Umtara dudare.
Turi Soha.
Ture soha.
That is one. Now the left side, the little bit wrathful sort of the goddess. Om Brim Soha.
Om Jin soha.
Om wait. Om Ayam Bim
Om aya bim.
Kuji Soha.
Kudi soha.
Om Bim Soha.
Om bim soha.
Om Ayam Bim
Om aya bim.
Kuji Soha.
Kudi soha.
Om Brim Soha.
Om bim soha.
Om Ayam Brim
Om aya brim.
Kuji Soha.
Kudi soha.
So now, you should be busy. Now I think the 100 recite together that the second one. They are written there, Om Tari Tudari Turi Soha, that one. Now 100 together. Om Tari Tudari Turi Soha, 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 Om Tari Tudari Turi Soha. Om Tari Tudari Turi Soha, 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 Omadare dodare dore sawa, omadare dodare dore sawa, omadare dodare dore sawa, omadare dodare dore sawa, omadare dodare dore omadare dodare dore sawa, 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 omadare dodare dore Omadare dodare dore sawa, omadare dodare dore sawa, omadare dodare dore sawa, omadare dodare dore Omadare dodare dore sawa, 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 omadare dodare dore Omadare dodare dore sawa, 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 omadare dodare Omadare dodare dore sawa, 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 omadare dodare Omadare dodare dore sawa, 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 omadare dodare dore Omadare dodare dore sawa, 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 omadare dodare dore Omadare dodare dore sawa, 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 omadare dodare dore Omadare dodare dore sawa, 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 omadare dodare Omadare dodare dore sawa, omadare dodare dore sawa, omadare dodare dore sawa, omadare dodare dore sawa, omadare dodare dore Dare dodare dore sawa, omadare 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 Omadare dodare sawa, omadare dodare dore 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 Omadare dodare dore sawa, 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 omadare dodare Dare dodare dore sawa, omadare dodare dore sawa, omadare dodare dore sawa, omadare dodare dore sawa, omadare dodare dore dore sawa, omadare dodare dore sawa, omadare dodare dore sawa. 좀 전에 들어서 하지만 저런 거 와서 주면 들어서 하는 저런 거 와서 주면 들어서 하는 저런 거 와서 들어서 하는 저런 거 와서 that now the if possible 3 mantras if not this just 10 slipped mantra Om Tat Tot So this one at least 21 each day recite. When you have sufficient time, then 100, like that. Then occasionally, when you have some holiday or rest period, then perhaps 1,000 or 10,000. When you are very hurry, that's 21. Okay. 다시 됩니다. 좀 전에 내지 진로는 들은 거 자도서 나중으로 써서 뛰슈 담벌 자도 쇠. 자오방다 치. 시제저시 나는 그 중년 진벌 제배매 줄린 자기 던진디 도숨 자네 쳐버 쇼. 주시. 그래 주시면 좀 먼저 주세요. Take, I think the minimum three bills, right?
No, bills.
3 bills. 그래서 민의스 과정에 안 쉬었어. 어디? 네. 준비했어. 까먹 옷도 게.
Please come.
수도.
Kabir, please come to distribute the bills, please.
컨데 치주 말고 뒤에 심이 뒤지상. 치미 리부 디진베 로제 파도 초르쇼. 다디 시장디 동아. 어느 가서 주시오. 잔잔이쇼. 잔지. 저기 군이 대신 보시 시시시. 오늘도 소하스. 컨데 치주 말고 뒤에 심이 뒤지상. 치미 지분 뒤집에 로제버도 소쇼. 나중에 제시진진 나좀보 제시진진 나좀보 깐데철 진바이 콜리규에 겨보다 수배 선함 터버쇼 어머 쌉다라나 아비케자 홍 어머 쌉다라나 아비케자 홍 도자 세냐 본바상 빼면 통걸 빼배고 견산 콜론 디진베 뒤는 군도 시벌 쇼 애점 망갈로 아비케자 홍 먼저 샤자 투바이 진절레베 제션디 견데 쿄라 진바이 뜻이 무슨 사워서 망갈라 구루 소하 so now completed just touch so now completed this year's University my talk about the Four Noble Truths, now completed. At the end, there's some blessing of Goddess Tara, according 15th Dalai Lama's vision. So,
thank you, Your Holiness.
so actually, we already discussed, you see, the promotion of study. It's actually the study of ancient Indian thought, Nalanda thought. That's ancient Indian thought. And that also, you see, not only just, you see, religious matter, but also, you see, the sort of philosophical thinking. And about mind emotion. That's something very much sort of useful to today's world. Eventually, I'm very, very keen to in sort of school in school teaching, like the physical hygiene. We usually used to teach. Similarly, hygiene of mind, emotion. As simply, you see, the subject of sort of knowledge how to take care of oneself. Not talking about next life or serving God or Buddha, not like that. So I think this country, I think very relevant. Ancient time, your ancestor, you see, found these sort of ideas and these things through their own experience. So now modern Indian should learn more on these things. In ancient time, maybe these was considered part of Buddhist teaching. But now in modern time, we should not consider these are part of teaching of Buddhism. But the part of the teaching of Buddhist religion. But we can separate. This is an academic subject. So we already see some people seriously now thinking these things. So the other day I talked in Delhi University. So actually our knowledge, we Tibetan sort of knowledge, we learn from you in 7th century, 8th century on. So all our knowledge is your disposal. Please utilize our knowledge. Those was the ancient Indian knowledge which kept in Tibet last, I think, over 1,000 years. Now, this is your treasure. So please use that. And sort of according to today's circumstances, that way. So I often see, as I mentioned earlier, I often described in those like Nagarjuna or these, I described professors of Nalanda, not Bodhisattva or these things, no, simply professors of Nalanda. So truly, these are professors, academicians. So that's my request. Please think more seriously. It's not sufficient just to say the few days meeting here and I talk some bala 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 bala, then finished. It's not that way. No, this is some ancient sort of Kasota knowledge, some kind of whole system. So that I think really worthwhile to preserve. So main responsibility should carry by Indian, not we. We just simply, kept in our refrigerator survey. Refrigerator in the snowland. We just kept. So now you should utilize now that, and then to more people outside the world. Thank you. That's all.
Your Holiness, on behalf of 300 of us here, thank you would not be enough. I think it's that 300 full hearts speak for themselves, and we pledge that the benefit that we have gained from these teachings are dedicated to the benefit of all sentient beings.